and welcome to Davos. My name's Andrew Hill, the FT Senior Business Writer, and welcome to our Expert Corner brought to you by FT Live. And I'm here in conversation with Monty Metzger, CEO and founder of the cryptocurrency exchange LCX. Monty, welcome, and welcome to Davos.
Andrew, a pleasure to be here.
So this is a pretty momentous week for your sector, cryptocurrency and blockchain, because a president has been elected in the US who is a crypto enthusiast, not just an enthusiast, but also somebody who literally in the last 48 to 72 hours has created meme coins that he is ready for you and the likes of you to trade as part of his commitment, I guess, to cryptocurrencies. Mm-hmm. So what are you hoping for in the new world that a Trump presidency will usher in for crypto?
I think it's an exciting time and also a historic time we're living in at the moment. Now with Donald J. Trump being the first so-called crypto president, we do see a shift in the regulatory approach and the innovation of like what blockchain technology can really do to the monetary system, to financial, to utility tokens, vouchers, and enabling basically what we had been proclaimed for years and had been blocked in the US. But even more important is the shift now we see in Europe, because there we already had been at the forefront of regulatory innovation and basically being ahead of time of what the US tries to do now under President Trump.
Right. I mean, you're Liechtenstein-based, you're Liechtenstein-regulated. You're covered by the EU regulation, which came in at the end of last month, the Markets in Crypto Assets regulation. How does that differ from what has been in place up till now, mm-hmm. either in Europe or in the US?
So when I started LCX, I always had the vision in mind to combine the old traditional world with the new blockchain innovation, basically getting best of both worlds. But I also knew that, changing or working in a financial markets industry and changing the monetary system as we know it also needs some form of regulatory playing field or some rules to follow. And this was not given. But Liechtenstein had been developing it very early. Already 2016, they started working on the Blockchain Act. And a lot of these elements we now do see in what has been enacted by the European Parliament, the Markets in Crypto Assets regulation, a whole legal framework which spans around the European Union and the European Economic Area. So Liechtenstein is actually part of the European Economic Area, which means that with the one license out of Liechtenstein, we do have access to 30 countries and 450 million potential users.
Right. Obviously the Trump presidency brings what I suppose you might call a sort of vibe shift in this area. And until a couple of years ago, when I came to Davos, cryptocurrency was everywhere. And then suddenly, with the FTX collapse and the clampdown of regulation, it disappeared from the front of the promenade here in Davos. Mm-hmm. This speaks to a certain volatility, doesn't it? How can you be sure that crypto is back for good?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a technology entrepreneur. I started many companies and then invested as a venture capitalist also in that. And what we see now is actually this evolution of technology. Blockchain technology is like the introduction of the HTTP protocol or sending emails on SMTP protocol. So eventually we would like to let go of that word so that it's just eventually everything being tokenized, everything being on the blockchain and just leveraging the technology while just everybody's using it as simple as connecting to the internet.
Which is the word you want to get rid of, crypto?
Blockchain and technology is like similar, it's a protocol, like it's a technology, yes. Right? So it's similar to the internet protocol or other like core technologies which we're used or like which you're using on a daily minute basis, right, with our mobile phones. But nobody's talking about that we're now like connecting to the internet or uploading something. We just do it and use it. And this is what we now see in this evolution. If we look back to the first 10 years of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, that there had been a lot of speculation, a lot of experiments, a lot of failures also, similar to what we've seen in the early days of the internet. And now we're at the point where it's maturing and really getting mass attention, mass adoption, and then even being embraced by a more business-driven president.
But we're surely a long way from everything being on the blockchain. How far are we away, would you say, from that moment where you think people will just assume that this is the way we do exchange currency or transact business?
We do see a massive shift already right now, and that's driven by the consumers itself. The digital natives are preferring to have a smartphone and a digital wallet rather than going to a traditional bank. So there was a saying by Bill Gates already in 1993 who said, "Banking is needed, banks are not." And this quote I put into my book about blockchain banking, which had been published last year. And there I'm explaining that a lot of the decentralized finance, a lot of the cryptocurrency technology innovations, actually providing kind of financial services without the middleman, without needed to trust in a centralized entity. And it's really innovative in terms of the way we consume or we get access to financial services.
Right. How much does regulation help in this objective that you have? Because some people would say that the perception of cryptocurrency is that it is an unregulated Wild West. And obviously, it is useful for you to be able to say there is some regulation to reassure people to use it.
Yeah.
Too much regulation, as you might say has been the case in America in the last few years, stifles that innovation. So where is the sweet spot for LCX?
There's a saying that US innovates, Asia duplicates, and Europe regulates. So we're pretty good in setting up regulatory structures, and you're right, if it's over-regulated, it's blocking innovation. But if you look back at the last couple of years, there was nothing. And it was blocking any companies like regulated exchanges in the US to operate in a playing field that they are allowed to operate, that they are issue tokens in a regulated manner. And there I'm very proud to be out of Liechtenstein with our exchange, because we are enabling token issuers to notify the regulator. We are got all the regulatory approvals to operate an exchange in an environment that we are legal, that we are offering it in a secure manner, that people can trust, that funds are segregated, consumer funds to company funds. And if you look at Coinbase, that's not even the case. If Coinbase would go bankrupt, the company, the assets of the customers would mix up with the whole funds, because there's no law separating it. So I believe regulation is absolutely needed to a certain degree. I wish that it's not over-regulated, but what we currently see is just a historic moment in time that Europe is leading. Out of here, Switzerland, the crypto valley with Liechtenstein had been always at the forefront, and now Europe really showing the way of creating a framework which is necessary.
Are you worried that LCX will be held back by European regulation while the innovators who are regulated in the US are allowed to do whatever they want?
Absolutely. I mean, I think getting the balance right between innovation and regulation is core. And we hope that this step, what we now see in the US, is enabling us to enter the market there as well. We already looked at it, but there was simply no regulatory environment, no licenses we could apply to which are made for crypto. And this will probably change now very soon. What we already do see is this excitement, this the buzz, and even driven with some controversies by the president himself launching his Trump coin, for example.
Which you are trading already.
The team just listed it yesterday.
And the Melania coin as well?
Melania, we looked at it as well. I don't know if that's the smartest step to do that in 2 days, right? Doing 2 of these tokens. But it shows also kind of the dynamic of the industry and how it's fun. It's basically these tokens it doesn't have any intrinsic value. It's a collectible. It's kind of what the community is about in crypto a lot. So about this memes and more fun fun things to talk about.
Aren't a lot of very inexperienced investors going to lose a huge amount of money by betting on these fun coins through your platform? And won't that then damage your reputation as well?
That's right. I mean, we look at the regulatory standpoint always to get trusted or vetted assets on the platform, but we also follow the user demand. And in this case, people just want it, they want to be part of it, and we just enable and follow the user's demand.
But wouldn't it have been smarter potentially to have said, actually, we're not going to trade this meme coin because we want to show that we are taking the high ground here and this is a safe exchange and you don't have to put lots at risk in order to work with us?
Yeah, so at LCX, there are all the basic coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and so on. And obviously, I think more than 90% of any listing applications we have to reject. They go through a process where we need legal opinions and reviews. And now with MiCA also, there are requirements for disclosures, risk disclosure and everything like that. And in particular with the Trump coin, for example, there had been some other coins around it already in the past, also around Elon Musk, which are not established by an official entity. And in this case, it was embraced by Egg Trump. And they have some larger plans with it. So we thought that that's something more credible to be listed as well.
What sort of institutional take-up are you getting? Because obviously a lot of people can have fun, they might lose money, but it's not going to move the dial as far as scaling up your business. What you really need is institutions to be involved. What's the situation there?
I think the demand drives the markets. And with this, as I said, people go in with $100, not to make 2 or 3% interest rate, but to make 10x, to turn the $100 into 1,000 or something. It's a different category. And then if you could go at our platform, there are different asset categories. Obviously, now Bitcoin is much less volatile. It becomes like a digital gold, like a true investment. And then there's a new category where we launched tokenized bonds, which offer fixed yield, is issued and approved by several prospecti, which have been passported across Europe, so we can offer it within the European Economic Area. And these are, for example, giving a 7% interest rate on your Bitcoin deposits, on your Ethereum deposits. And we do see this demand on also more serious investment products being offered on-chain and in a digital way, with direct subscription, no middleman, no clearance companies in between. At the same time, having some meme coins on the platform. But we do see the investors and the profiles are completely different. And one aspect is now in Davos, and a big topic is institutional growth. We do see international settlement is a big topic, regulated stable coins in Europe. And there LCX is positioning as a centerpiece of international settlement.
Right. The irony occurs to me that you are very keen on sensible regulation, and yet Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, a lot of the enthusiasm was that it was liberating people from the established financial system and regulatory system. And here you are cheering on a government in the US that is encouraging the crypto investment. That seems a contradiction to me. You're relying on governments.
Right, and I mean, FT and FT Live is in the middle of the Internet of Information. So you had been embracing as a central entity to also say what is a credible news article to publish and what not. And one of our advisors is Jimmy Wales, who had been the founder of Wikipedia, and he had been the division of during the Internet of Information to enable freedom of knowledge. And basically having this community movement, right, to edit anything they want, and there's a swarm intelligence. And that's at the core also what Bitcoin stands for, right? This enabling and empowering of everything. But at the end of the day, centralized entities like LCX are also needed to have an easy access. So what Jimmy and I had been talking about a lot is about this Internet of Value where we are in the middle of it, this age of Internet of Value. And our core vision is to enable freedom of wealth at LCX.
Monty Metzger from LCX, thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew Hill from the Financial Times, and we've been joined by Monty Metzger for our Expert Corner.